Right, hello, we are. Oh god, I just went the mouse in the wrong direction. We are back, and. Huh. This place. I have spat everywhere. Why did I just spit everywhere? That's a brilliant idea, me. Yeah. That mouth movement wasn't quite correct. So, I've made some off-cam progress a little bit in this place. No, just some boring stuff like roof, lights, carpeting most down here. So, it's kind of just mass production. There's a floor pattern, there's a roof pattern, there's a light pattern. And, yeah. This is now cool, it's not covered in snow. So you can't see where it is. This entire corridor is here. There's some side rooms. The main room here has not been done yet. Don't know if I want this to be the front room or I want to go up a floor. But it kind of exists, it's grand. Staircase has been cleaned of snow. Let's get to here. And this entire section has been floored off. And that is the progress here. There's not much done there, there's not much done elsewhere. So that is that. To then move on to what I've done next, would require a small journey. And should do it by foot to be fun. It is kind of cool how multi-layered I've made this now, and I believe this is the entrance. Across here, across the beautiful wheat fields. Hello, horse. And then I don't actually know how to get down into that. I think technically, this is the most efficient way to hop down short term, or it is. Yes, I forget it's technically the actual way is somewhere over here. Here it is. This is the actual underground section to get to here. And now I've added, well, some things. There's been extension. We've got a house, we've got a cupboard. We've got ourselves a lovely upstairs into bedroom. We can sleep. Which explains the inventory full of crap. Because I've been building. So the street level is quite cramped, and you've got houses like this. Big story, there's probably a bunch of rooms to build an attic, but a little bit overbuilt. I mean, technically I was kind of thinking this was before I put the roof in. This ain't necessary, there we go. Bit neater. But yeah, big house. Then, well, you've got the backside here where there's another house. There's a house up here. Then there's this, it's a bit of a public area, and then you have a bridge, which connects you into this area of the windmill. Bit of a grass area, and then my last thing I did, which was literally the other day, was this barn? Warehouse? Shed? But yeah, it's cool. It has hay. I'm not quite sure what to do about this area. I'm thinking something. So let's grab a chest. We can work on that today. I'll just chuck all these blocks in. So, how to treat this area of land? It's kind of like it's sitting on that hill. What the hell's this? It's not even my bell. It's next. It's this bell. And it's just traffic. Right. Nothing important. So technically that's that. I kind of like it being on this hill. But to casually... There we go. Bush. That's a good point. There's no leaves around here because it's all terrain. Maybe we could do something like that and have a bunch of these around. Or do we just say solid and see what it does when we first clean up this area here? We'll allow that to go down. There we go, looks sturdy and solid. And voila. And use the commands to delete some of this. Ain't that nice? There we go. And voila. So and done that. So that's kind of worked around because we've kind of got squares. We've kind of changed to farmland. Just means you have to put a wall here. Bone meal. There we go. stones, yes. It's not blocking that. It looks like it's been trimmed around here, that's good. It's not got it into the building. We'll create a mock branch. There we go, a little bit of that. Then we have the more trim side of things. Because that's not going to grow, no matter what you do. A bit of gravel. It's a bit of a dead area, but it's also a bit of nature. It's just to hide some of the flaws. Perfect. So that is that. So I'll do this off camera. This is slow work. This anyway, the city building an extension to build it out. Technically, I also want to carry on the industrial sector that way, this way, that way, and probably depends what I do this way. If it grows out, actually, I don't think we really want to grow it out further this way. It's kind of tundra. The mountains are kind of tundra. I might put something there, and then I think I want to keep it down around the mountain in the valley, and we'll see. But I think what it's time to work on is, or at least think about working on, is over this way. Because I want to rebuild an arch. How about just stone? Do we just go and say sod it and set day? I need that. I'll worry about lights later. Right. We'll pretend this is the start. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's 9. 1, 2, 3. That's 12. One, two, three. 1, 2, kind of thinking mini fortress, kind of. Into arch, so I think there's sod doing that, because I kind of changed my mind a little bit then. So I'm going to build this up as a subsection and then build the arch on top of this. New sounds for deserts I didn't know about. That's the art, I think. Can use that to patch this hole at least. For now. But I do believe if we do something deaf like this, need to figure out the height in a moment, but it's kind of one of those weird things where technically I can probably just say this is external and then the pillar's going to be internal for whatever reason. As long as the arch is generally symmetrical, the base it sits on doesn't have to be. Just in case, because I don't know if I'm going to go much taller than this, and there might be a plot change. I think in a couple more we'll go straight here. I'm not counting these by the way, so be mad later about it. Right. And simple. Double check that. It's slightly lopsided, but it's fairly even-ish. The question is how tall do I want to do it? Quite funny if I have a mini arch here and then a bigger arch above it. Freaking fly. Oh, because I didn't want to fall off this, did I? No, you don't. I suppose growing some more materials won't hurt. idea across now of where I want to go with this. So we'll build up, big chunky thing, then the arch sits on top of that, so anything around it doesn't swallow the arch's sort of foot to height placement up. So in theory, because this is as tall as a small building, so if I build around it, the arch is still centre mass, and it doesn't have to be perfectly square or anything daft. That's just double check on this side of. But for most of the resources I mined from the old arch would probably be used up in the space anyway, so. But I think if I use most of the main blocks for the actual meter bones of it, and then I can use creative to get the add-ons. Just fucking fly back up. I'll have to check afterwards if that's even. But the point of it should be alright. So yeah, this has definitely increased the grandstanding of this a little bit more, which is good. More cobble. So I think you can start to picture the idea a little bit here is boom, 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 meets in the middle, sits. I mean, this structure could go back a bit this way with like a courtyard. I was kind of thinking roughly. I mean, do we plan that out? I suppose we could if we got the stone bricks for it, so. It's like a bloody fortress extension, really. If we just said. This way. But the best thing about this file is the point of reference. Everything's feels a bit more grounded in decisions. Now the question is, I actually have an idea of how far I kind of want to push this. God, I've not been down here since the beginning of making this bridge, I think. Still got all the natural grass. And kinda like here-ish, because then we can have like a something semi-connected to this building on this mountain. whatever's connected here is more its own building in comparison to what this will be, which should be more like a wall. So there's a wall. I think the rest of this internally can be figured out probably a bit better, but don't want a too big courtyard here. Then it's kind of squared off here. This could feature something in the terrain. Which also means it's an excuse to fix this mountain area. This mini hill, should we say. There's that, so that's a building, that's another thingy, that's a building there. But I do think there'll be something that kind of loosely here. Oh god, sorry, I was building, we couldn't stop it then. Yeah, so there's that. And I think last bit of planning is simply to say sod it and put this rest of this wall in for this length. Perhaps we can keep this waterway as well. Use it for something. Perhaps we got a more traditional tower here. That's that. 1, 2, 3. This is interesting on this, so there's that. Because this is even weirder, this part. So I can probably fit more internal buildings if I wanted to. I think this should be oddly thin. Because then this can turn into the building I want, because of how the train works. of a man. How this somehow linked into this. Since we're keeping theme with some of the other buildings. And we're just going to have to fund this off the side of the cliff. And uh, 10 more. 8 I guess. Right. So that's kind of that. It goes into there, it sends to this. I think for today that is quite good progress for the video. And it gives me time to think about it more, but I've kind of, in my mind, I kind of wanted a plaza in front of the arch, and therefore I wanted to do something a bit more different. I wasn't quite sure. I wanted to just place the arch flat on the floor, and then it's like, But we have the arch stands on a big structure here. We have courtyard, building. Potentially have a building here or something. Or whatever this turns into. Because then whatever spills out this way could feed into down here, feed into there a little bit. It'd probably be more. Actually, I could probably copy this style of building and have that come round. That's an idea. Merge it with this in this area. Don't want to go too much of this mountain, but it's that. Because depending if I do put a plaza or something here, or I put buildings around the plaza, or extend it out further, there is a bit more of a grand entrance, which bolts onto the rest of everything else. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe, and do check out some playlists in the channel. There's many playlists. One of these is the Castle series, which goes back about 7-8 years now. So, yes, this is a lot of work. Other than that, like and subscribe if you've not said that already. Discord's in the description, and have a good day, a wonderful day even. It's Friday, and you've been listening to Jim FM. No, you haven't been listening to my radio, for God's sake. And I pressed the button to stop recording, and it's not worked. Let's press again.